looking at Job's wife again. And the book of Job is very clear that it's about relationship. And but for this question, I would have never considered that the book of Job is about relationship. And I say it's about relationship because, number one, we're made in the image of God. And the book of Job shows that that image that we are made of God is the image of free will and love. You see, and relationship. You see, because in the end, Job's wife, she was not killed. She did not die. It was the people who had relationship with Job who maintained his antagonists, his family who walked out on him. They came back and they each gave him a piece of money. And when God created us, he created us in his image, but that image is not necessarily an arm, two arms and a head and a leg, but it seemed to have been free will and the ability to love. That's why we must love God. And in God's relationship to Job remained unchanged, even though Job had to confess that he was just as he was accused to be. So that when God decided to reward Job, what he does is that he also restores his marriage. He also, through his wife, Job's wife, he has more children, as much as he had before. So what God is saying, that even though he found out the flaws in Job, he loved Job anyway. It was therefore no surprise that Job had a wife who had a mouth, but Job loved her anyway. And when God reconciled with Job reconciled with his wife. The love of God is about reconciliation. It's about coming back again. It's about doing great things. And Job's wife, though she said things which she thought were hurtful, were describing the relationship of God and Job. It was at that state, because when Job speaks about wishing he was never born, wishing that he was aborted, wishing all these things, saying, "Woe is me," Job is bemoaning even life itself, just as his wife did. They were two of a kind. It's just that she used a whole lot less words. So in the end, Job is reconciled with his wife. Job has more children, and again, God's reconciled with Job. So what the book of Job is saying, through Job's wife, he's saying that we should love again. We should not be afraid to try again. Relationships are the important thing. It's not the things that we can produce like children, which we do not by a choice of a relationship, so to speak, or even with wealth, the choice of wealth, but it's the things in relationship to people, to God, and to those who we have committed ourselves to. Those are the valuable things. And where Satan loses is that he has no relationship with anyone. So let us not be like Satan and breaking relationships, but be reconciled. But you have to have someone to reconcile with. But the book of Job, in the end, in chapter 42, is about the power of love, of reconciliation, and being unafraid, undeterred to love again, and realizing that love is not something that you can control. But because God doesn't control us, gives us free will, and we are of him because we also have free will. That means that God is free to love and choose whom he will, exactly the way we are, but that he is also big enough to love again. Love again. Be like Job. Be like Job's wife. That even though this man lost everything, they remained together and they both loved again and produced.